You know guys, I don't want to waste any time in today's video. I want to get straight into this. Call of Duty Next is at the end of September in about a month. And the list of people that are going goes as follows. It goes Gooch Slickers, it goes Call of Duty and Activision page shills. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, but a literal group of nobodies. And no, I'm not talking about those things in Kingdom Hearts, alright? Those things are actually pretty badass, but I'm talking about, like, if I told you guys their names, you wouldn't know what the flying fuck I'm talking about. And guys, I'm gonna get into exposing this entire massive shit show of a concept, which is Call of Duty Next. But before I do, I need you guys to Batista bomb the fucking like button right now. The content has been absolutely on fire lately. Please subscribe if you're new. We're on the way to 60,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure we just hit 55, which is absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for that. But guys, let's get right into this. So, Call of Duty Next, what do we know about it? Well, pretty much the stigma is, if you are a certified gooch licker, as in, you're gonna come to Call of Duty and Activision's defense at a moment's notice whenever somebody like myself comes out here and talks shit, well, that's a pretty good way to get yourself invited. Also, if you promote and advertise bundles and microtransactions on Activision's behalf, it sounds like that's a pretty effective method as well, I'm not gonna lie. The other criteria, and this one is where it gets kind of shaky. If you're simply a massive content creator, pause, your chances of getting that Call of Duty Next invite is pretty high. And honestly, it's getting to the point where maybe that's not even enough, because even the largest streamers know that Call of Duty is literally a fucking joke, and people don't respect Call of Duty or Activision. Black Ops 7 is being fucking bombarded with hate, and so if those guys are finally being critical, and I don't mean like that half-ass on the fence critical, I mean like if you're actually within the shit and you're down to really speak your mind, you're probably not gonna get an invite. So who does that leave Activision to go after? Well guys, I'm about to show you a list of people that, I'm not gonna lie, you've probably never fucking heard of. And that's no disrespect to them. Please do not go to their channels and pages just spreading hate and talking shit. Don't do anything like that, alright? Keep your cool, but be mindful of who is going to represent the Call of Duty community at an event hosted by Activision and Call of Duty that showcases the next game. You know, these are the people that are first in line to have communication with Activision and the developers directly, and this is who they choose. We have Cindy Noemi, or Noemi, I don't really know, but she's genuinely at a loss for words. So the fuck am I. We have Primrose. I'm sorry, but I don't really know who you are. No disrespect, but look, this whole care package system thing, pretty fucking cringe on Activision's behalf. We have Destroy over here, finally. Somebody with a name that actually kind of makes sense for Call of Duty, kind of. Except when you take a look at this guy's content, yeah, he has over 100,000 subscribers, but holy shit, these views are fucking putrid.
What the fuck?
And that's no disrespect, that's just a fucking fact. We also have Miss Isabella Grace, who posted this a day ago and has 1.5 thousand views on it, 15 likes, and when you take a look at my post for Call of Duty Next, I have nearly the same amount of views as this person on Twitter and over like triple the fucking likes. But we're not done yet, guys. We have So Daisy. Have you guys ever heard of this person? I personally have not. And again, it's no disrespect, but then we get Kaya. We'll just call her Kaya. Who the fuck are you? And look, if it's not these people, then the people that are going are people like TIMTHETATMAN and JGOD. We have, you know, Dyke Dynamite. Some of the fucking regulars, you know what I mean? Like these guys, face down, ass up. You guys know the whole spiel, right? Well, what if I told you all of this shit was intentional? Now, I don't need to be the one to tell you that obviously you're not gonna see people like fucking Blame Truth or Neuro Cinema over there. You're sure as fuck not gonna see some of the smaller critical guys like me or the Rick or Gilmore or anybody else. You're not gonna see us at these events, and for good reason, because if we pulled up, you know the first thing we would do would be, hey, Treyarch, nice to meet you. I'm the fucking Scat Master, but let me tell you something. I don't really know which one of you guys is out here working on the maps for BO6 and apparently BO7, which also has pretty dog shit maps from what I've heard. I don't know which one of you guys is working on that, but please just do a better fucking job. Holy shit, like, oh, do you guys need money? Is that what it is? Like, do we need an extra fund? Treyarch for developing maps that aren't terrible? And then I would look at Activision and be like, yo, Activision, you're run by Bobby Cosby. You got these guys over at the fucking headquarters celebrating Bill goddamn Cosby
Good goddamn job. Whoever invented skill-based matchmaking and EOMM, you can eat my fucking balls from the back, chew on my dick like a fucking glizzy. And of course, if you talk the way that I talk, you're just not gonna get an invite. And that's the thing, I don't really want an invite to Call of Duty Next. I'm not interested in working with Activision or being compensated by them because they're really fucking corrupt. Additionally, the people that they want at these events, they're either gonna have a platform that is going to attract hundreds of thousands of people, which unfortunately we're just not there yet. Eventually we will be, and let's see what the fuck happens with YouTube when that happens. Or number two, like I said at the start of the video, you gotta gooch lick and defend Activision anytime somebody like myself pops up and actually has something of substance to say. Now, obviously I make jokes, but the message is clear as day. Hey, skill-based matchmaking, not too good. All of these cringy cosmetics, not a fan of that. The maps and the development time could be significantly better. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have actual shit that we need to say. It's just the way that we say it, Activision's not the biggest fan of it, and that couldn't have been more exemplified than having somebody like JFraud pull up and just have this tweet where he talks about some of the creators that were left off of the Call of Duty Next invite list, which we're gonna get into right now, and it's really fucking crazy, the little conspiracy that's attached to this. Well, he goes on and tries to do this whole like massive explanation why some people get invites and some don't, but it's really the end that actually makes the most goddamn sense. And he says, there are a lot of creators that get invited that are judgmental or critical of COD, but they also don't generally cross the line of being disrespectful to devs or individuals that work with or for Activision, which one should expect to be blacklisted for. Many creators mess this part up, in my opinion.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry.
Well, unfortunately, this is where I kind of have a large disagreement with this method, because even if somebody was very, very critical of myself, I would still react and respond to them accordingly, alright? We've already had this type of situation go down. We've had Reality You Gay, we've had Unk Slasher, we've had a lot of people really dislike the Scatmaster and just borderline, you know, throw insults and shit. And honestly, in those situations, you do what you gotta do. You respond, man, because that's what anybody would do. And instead of Activision pulling up with somebody like Blame Truth, for example, who has a large pool, but just so happens to be hypercritical of the game, I'm just gonna be the one to say it, and I know a lot of people agree with this, but you would get significantly more eyes on Call of Duty Next that are not just the portion of the fan base that is there to gooch lick and just be overly positive about nonsense. If you want people there that critically think, you would invite people that promote critical thinking. But here's the thing, the Ghost of Hope actually lays this out very well, where he responds to JFraud and says, I saw someone with 100 followers on Twitter and only 2,000 YouTube subscribers get invited to CODNEXT. That's just unacceptable. They had 3 unique commenters on their video covering what they said at Treyarch for Black Ops 7, which they were also invited to. It's hard to view it as anything other than grooming these small creators to think of Activision's word as gospel.
Police! Help! Police! Help!
And this is really where shit takes a turn, because guys, there is a reason for all of this. Obviously, you know, you can't have people like myself or the Rick or Blame Truth like we've said, because we yap a little bit too much, and I think those of us that I just mentioned, we understand that. And would we even accept a CODNEXT invitation? Fuck no. Very likely not, no. But what if I told you it's actually deeper than that, and it's actually a lot more petty than that? Because when you look at some of the people that you would expect to be invited on these lists, there's some people that you might be wondering and scratching your head at, like, why isn't TDAWG going, for example? I mean, this guy's content is fucking enormous right now. Well, here is the answer. This comes out from the Ghost of Hope. He says, seeing content creator friends get no invites to CODNEXT, but people with barely any viewers or subs get invited is actually nuts. Sad thing is that it's a personal vendetta for the guy responsible for inviting creators. He's even gone as far as pretty much harassing and judging creators for being friends or interacting with me just because I leak Call of Duty. Uh-oh. I mean, this guy says, the fact that TDAWG doesn't even get an invite is fucking mind-blowing to me. Me as well. And Hope responds with, that's a perfect example of a personal vendetta. Well, let's dig a little bit deeper into this. Somebody else says, what? And in response, the Ghost of Hope says, yeah, the PR guy is a complete douche and everyone knows it. He's mentioned me out of nowhere plenty of times at these events and has judged creators for interacting with me and being friends on the suspicion they're leaking to me.
Huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, how the tables have turned. You know, you would originally expect it to be something like this. Hey, this creator is disrespectful and he targets developers, therefore he's not being invited. But now it's actually developers and PR guys are targeting specific content creators and are choosing to not invite them, despite them having the platform necessary to actually spread the word and a message about Call of Duty. And I'm not here to defend TDAWG because he's done quite a bit of gooch licking himself, but come on guys, the guy literally lives and breathes and shits and eats Call of Duty. Like, are we fucking serious right now? It's this petty? You're afraid of this guy leaking to the ghost of fucking hope? Are you dog shitting me? Guys, I'm not here to gooch lick any particular content creator, but seriously, some of the changes that you're really happy about with Call of Duty currently, you know, no more crossover from BO6 into BO7 and not giving the developers the excuse to be fucking lazy. That is thanks to a lot of content creators that are not afraid of being critical. And I'm sorry, but when I look at the guest list, it's a lot of fucking nobodies that have nothing of value or substance to say or add to the Call of Duty community or add to the fucking quality of the game, or people who are gooch licking the fuck out of them. I mean, guys, Dyke Dynamite's on the list and TDAWG's not on it. Like, does that make any sense to you guys? We actually push for the franchise to improve in certain areas, and while you might look at that specific move as a W or an L, it's still a change that was pretty significant that was overturned due to people's feedback. And I'm sorry, I'm sure some of these content creators are nice people. They might be fantastic people, but I just don't see them having the influence or push to actually contribute something that is meaningful to Call of Duty. And I'm not saying that I do that because I come out here and just talk shit. That is my thing. That's what I like to do. I think it's funny. I entertain a lot of people, but when I have a platform that is larger than some of these guys, it's a fucking problem. It is a goddamn problem if you are being out-audienced by a guy named fucking Fooly. Do you understand how fucking embarrassing that is? Guys, I'm literally known for snapping a copy of Vanguard and leaving it at Activision's headquarters. I'm known for taking a shit on 8thought's fucking chest and telling FaZe Swag to shut the fuck up. That's what I'm known for. Majority of the people that are on this list, I'm sorry, but their content is basic as all fuck. Some of these people haven't even uploaded in like a goddamn year. And if they do upload, some of their videos get like hundreds of views maybe, if they're lucky, and a couple of them maybe break 1,000 occasionally here and there. Look, I'm not jealous of these people. I have no interest in being compensated by Activision because I don't align with their corrupt bullshit. But could we at least not make it blatantly obvious that there's a particular agenda that is being formed over here, where you just invite the biggest of the biggest, pause, and a bunch of gooch slickers, or else just a group of fucking nobodies. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on the Call of Duty Next invite list, and what do you think it means for the message that Activision is trying to push? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos, and yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.
This ain't in my body.